Good evening and welcome to another edition of Light Talk Business on the Rahim Show. And I'm your host, Ricky Lee. What kind of business can I do in Liberia? That's one of the questions I have been asked. So bear with me and join me as we discuss important business to do in Liberia. And there are so many businesses that you can do in Liberia, but we are just going to focus on two important businesses that you can do with the potential to become successful in Liberia. So if you're following the show via Facebook and YouTube, I want to say welcome. This is the Rahim Show. I'm your host, Ricky Ali, and we are discussing what kind of business uh, can I do in Liberia? Somebody's asking that question. I guess many of you want to get into business. Many of you have seen people sell almost the same things, and at the end of the day, because customer is not coming to your business, you have to do some sort of social marketing where you go on Facebook and share some of the things you sell. And sometimes people end up doing what we call set pay just to get a good so. So we are saying tonight, what kinds of business, what kind of business can I do to succeed in Liberia? So stay tuned as we dive into some of the important things that we provide. So many businesses to do in Liberia, but two important businesses we are going to focus on tonight. And those businesses are the ones that are already making money. You see the Lebanese, they have the treat one of the business that I would disclose momentarily as very important. You see a lot of people buy these businesses and sell them too, so they are making more money because we want to like bring people to take over the business sector in our country. So if you're following the show via Facebook and YouTube, I want to say welcome. This is the Rahim Show. I'm your host, Ricky Ali, and a special episode on our topic, Light Talk Business. Well, folks, let's dive into what we are here, and I want us to just spend an hour here highlighting uh, the importance of uh, what business to go into when you want to do business in Liberia. So many businesses to do. I see a lot of people in clothing business. I see a lot of people doing mobile money, different businesses. People giving loan. People in different kind of businesses. But two important businesses. I'm going to provide you the idea to succeed if you do the businesses, and then some of the factors, some of the things that make you actually successful in the area of businesses that I'm going to talk about. So if you're watching the show via Facebook and YouTube, I want to say welcome. This is the Rahim Show. I'm your host, Ricky Ali. So first of all, I'd like to talk about some of the businesses that we do in Liberia. I talk about some of the businesses, then we're going to dive into the two important business that I want people to take into consideration if you want to do a business in Liberia. Let's talk about so many businesses. There are a lot of businesses people do. People get into clothing. People get into, uh, like micro, loan service where they give loan to people. They get into different business. Agriculture is one of the business, but in Liberia right now, agriculture is not something really playing an important role for anyone who just want to start business, because agriculture, you obviously need a lot of things before you can get into such a business. So we want to talk about specific idea with potential in Monrovia, especially if you want to do business in Monrovia. Specific idea. What are some of the things that you need to consider before getting into business in Liberia? Uh, Many people think that if you just buy, like clothing things, people will just buy. I tell you, a lot of people. I went to Liberia, and more people are selling clothes. So the competition is like you people are not really making profit from clothes like before, because a lot of people want to sell the same things. But these two businesses that I'm going to highlight, they are very important because they make a lot of money for Liberian. So Liberian, if you want to join, if you want to get into business, please follow our podcast so that we can be able to provide you some insight and information to help you on which business to select. There are so many businesses that you can do in Liberia: agriculture, food business, and transportation, like mobile money. People do mobile money, open different area where they can, so many other businesses. But these two businesses are very important. So I just want you to bear with me how you can actually gain uh, with potential to succeed in your business if you want to get into business. So one of the specific idea I was talking about is the issue where the Lebanese people in Liberia, they invest a lot of money in the food and beverages and retail. That's one of the first business you want to get into: food and beverages and retail business. You see, if you ever take that, take an analysis about business in Liberia, you see most of those Lebanese people that sell those different drinks and different food stuff in the boxes, like longshoremen, sardine, and orange juice, all the different beverages. You see more people go and buy these things and they themselves will sell them and make a little small profit out of them. So when you get into such a business, you because food as a whole, people want food every day, and people want to eat every day. People buy sardine every day. People buy a longshoreman. People buy all those spanks and things. People buy all those things every day. So food and beverages is one of the business. If you really want to start business, are one of the things you go in, because people have to eat before they even wear clothes. A lot of time I know some people love to dress. They want to buy material things or so, but one of the things that you can actually go into in Liberia is the food and beverages business. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to give you a reason why food and beverages are one of the good business to do in Liberia. And the next business is transportation. I tell you, a lot of people leave from one place to another place. And how do they leave from one place to another place? It's by transportation means. So you might want to go to, you might want to consider rather transportation business as well. So those are two important business. But let's go into what the specific reason why I'm saying those two businesses are very important. Food and beverage retail, grocery store like superstore in Liberia. A lot of people go to the superstore and buy the stuff from the supermarket, Abijala supermarket, and Stop and Shop, and they got the superstore right on Benson Street. I don't know whether they still have that store, but a lot of people go to the places that buy the drinks, buy the beverages, buy the eggs, buy everything for the home. And those are businesses that people actually go and get something from. So those are businesses to go in. If you open such a business, I tell you, especially when you get good product, you attract more customer. You will end up succeeding in the businesses. So food and beverages retail, which is the grocery store selling like sample food like rice, cooking oil. People buy rice every day. People buy rice every day, and rice is a leading commodity for all Liberians. Liberians love to eat rice. So if you get into food and beverages retail business, which include the grocery store where you find they're selling, staple food like rice, cooking oil, locally produced goods, as well as small scale restaurant catering to the local taste. If you get into such a business, I tell you in Liberia, if you want to do business, don't go see your friend in the clothing business. You want to get into the clothing business. I tell you, there's a lot of competition right now, especially when they depend on what you bring. There are many people who in businesses in Liberia that sell the same thing. They have to do social marketing. They go on Facebook and let's say post their things before they can get somebody to say, "Oh, I love them. Me pay later on. Me buy it." So you see, that's how people doing business in Liberia. But if you really get into this business that I'm telling you about, it will help for the potential of a success in the long run. So food and beverages retail, you want to open a big superstore for yourself. If you have the money, if you have the capital, you want to open a big superstore and start selling the staple food like rice, cooking oil. We need rice. Liberian always buy rice. If you have rice, you will always have people running to your place to buy rice, cooking oil, and some other local produce, like what restaurant need, like, restaurant will buy meat, they will buy fish, they'll buy all the things. So you get all the things in your store, you will have people running to your store. That's one. And another business we want to talk about at Liberian who want to get into business can actually take into consideration is the transportation services. Many people need to leave from home to work in the morning. They get in buses, they get in taxis, they get in keke, they get on motorbike. They have to travel to go to work in the morning. And you see, if you have a good transportation system, you know, one day while, at my company meeting, I would just imagine if the leadership of Liberia can consider something like a regional transportation agency, where they can work directly with the ministry. I know the Ministry of Transport doesn't really do that much. Work directly with the Ministry of Transport to help our people ease the transportation burden in Liberia, where they can have sometimes I can always tell myself and say, I wish I had the money to really introduce this particular thing in Liberia, a regional transportation agency, where we can have, like Monrovia as a whole, we have a transportation system in place where that transportation system will also be helpful for our elderly. And senior, we have like private transit for senior, and we have regular route for, like the entire Monserrate. We do that per different state, different area, a different county. It will help to ease the transportation. All the things it also comes down to road network. If you have a good road network, then you can put into place the transportation system. But transportation makes a lot of money. It makes a lot of money in Liberia. So you want to consider a business in the transportation area, because what I tell you, if you have some sincere people and you have 1 or 2, 3 buses on that road, and you have good maintenance and mechanic to look after the buses and maintain the buses, I tell you, you are going to make good money from the transportation area. That's a good business to consider. Because clothing business, a lot of people are doing clothing in Liberia. You know how many people are selling? The Fula people are selling a lot of things, and some of the prices are even cheaper than yours. They go and buy these things and duplicate them, and people will not even know the distinction or the difference. They would say, this is what we see in other store for $10. You sell it $20. We don't want to buy it. So the likelihood of clothing business, becoming really, successful it's not impossible, but it's just that it's too tough right now for the people who selling clothing, who into clothing business, right? So these two businesses that I'm mentioning are very important, because somebody asked me, on your show, you always talk about what business to do in Liberia. I want to know what business advice do you have, and they are watching right now. So one of the business you can consider if you wanted to do a business in Liberia is what I consider the food and beverages business. It's one of the business that the Liberian people do. I mean, when I was in Liberia, most of the time we go and buy the boxes. We buy like the sardine, we buy juices and things. You see, even in Liberia right now, people buy the juices that people are selling when they are cold. They're selling it when the cars are moving. They're selling those things to the driver or selling the things to the passenger. Those are beverages that they buy from the same Lebanese people by boxes or by dozen, and they themselves go and sell and make money. These guys are making huge amount of money from these beverages and food stuff business that they do. We Liberia can do similar business and succeed. I tell you, with a good potential to succeed. So it's very important, not just, oh yeah, I want to do business, then you get into clothing. You start buying some fashion things and things. Liberia, how many people can afford? If you were to buy a quality things, look at the Irish man in Liberia, his income and what he gets. I mean, and some people would be able to see the difference and buy your product, but I mean, how many people on the average, how many people are willing to afford? For instance, they had a football store on Ken Johnson Road a long time ago. So the guy was selling the football, even Joe Weah, the former president, he had a football store right on, let's say, Benson and Rana Street. That football store he had. How many people really walk into that football store and buy booze for $135? I guess only one people who knew the importance of that boost could go there and buy it, because why? The boost costs a lot of money, and look at the average amount of average, people. Look at the income. How many people are making money in Liberia? Not many people. So at the end of the day, that store ended up closing down because why? Nobody can afford such a quality boost with a high price, because people in Liberia are only looking forward to what do we eat. So that's why when you prioritize these businesses that I'm talking about, it helps, because transportation, obviously, you cannot run out of transportation, because transportation is a must. People need transportation to get to work. They need transportation to get to school. They need transportation to get to places. So transportation business is one of the most important business that can yield a very good profit for anyone who want to start a business in Liberia. And I get it; it requires a lot of money, but you can start from somewhere. You can start depending on how committed you are and how determined you are and how focused you are, and finding somebody who is sincere to work along with you. You can succeed in the transportation and business. And the food and beverages that I'm talking about, 11 people. These are businesses that sell, and people buy locally, and they themselves sell and make profit out of these businesses. So there are so many other businesses that you can consider, but these two businesses are very, very, are key. They are very, very key. And a lot of times we Liberians, we are afraid to get into the businesses because why? We don't want to take a risk. Business as a whole, as long you plan to do business, you have to take into consideration the risk factor. Many business come with risk, and you have to be very risk oriented. You have to take the risk, because that's how you succeed. That's how you succeed. If you don't take the risk, you will not succeed. So the food beverages, like you see, even in America, yeah, you look at Walmart. Tell me, how many people can walk to a boutique and buy from that boutique? Compare. How many people can go to a boutique and buy from that boutique more than buying from Walmart? Let's just compare. Compare one of the best boutique and compare the number of customers that run into that boutique and the number of customers that run into Walmart. I know Walmart sell clothing and other things too, but mostly when you see people go to Walmart, they go buy a grocery item, food, things, and like food, beverages and things for the family. So it just tells you that if Liberian people consider such a business in Liberia, they will make money. They will succeed. The first thing here is you want something that people can be able to buy. So when you do your market research and you know what people need, these are businesses to go in, because it helps to grow. The potential for success is in that area. A lot of Liberians wanted to buy clothes. Oh, I carry fashion things. I carry things. People will buy at certain time, but you will not continue in business, because a lot of people are selling clothes in Liberia. The clothes business is too much in Liberia, and so the competition is so high. The possibility of somebody buying a lot from you is tough, because everybody want to focus on what they are able to put in the belly in Liberia, because our staple food is rice. Once you have these particular businesses in place, you see most of the time that the Liberian people. Why am I giving an example of the Liberian people? Because I know most of them, these are the businesses they do, and they make a lot of money out of our country. And we Liberians, we don't see that as a good business to get into. So we allow the Liberian people to take that race, and they are making more money. See the superstore, Abijali. You see how many cars can run to that place and buy a lot of things. You think we have a physical Liberian businessman owning Abijali or owning a superstore, a big superstore where people can run into and buy rice, buy some meat, buy some frozen things, like the way Walmart look. Look at Walmart. 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 See, a lot of people go to Walmart. You see, on a weekend, Walmart make a lot of money because people go there to buy food for the family. So you see, so those are business to really go into. So somebody had asked me this question. That's what we are discussing, like talk business, and we are specifically emphasizing on business. There are so many business, but these two important business, they are very important for you to go into if you wanted to consider doing business in Liberia. If you have the money, get into that business, because at the end of the day, there is a potential for success in that particular area. Many people don't do and they don't get into food and beverages business, they're very good business to do. Very good business to do. Don't just wake up and say, oh, yeah, because I see somebody selling fashion, I want to sell fashion. Yeah, I'm sure people have succeeded in selling fashion. And this is not to discourage somebody who is doing fashion clothing, no. As I said earlier, there are so many other businesses to do. People are doing businesses and they are succeeding in the fashion area, clothing area, they are succeeding. But I'm just giving you two other businesses that we, as in Liberia rather, can be able to consider, because the Lebanese are making more money out of food and beverages, selling alcohol, selling the stable rice that we have, selling the beverages, drinks people buy locally, and they buy and then sell it locally. They are buying these things from the store, and they are making, and the Lebanese people are making more money. Why you think Liberian people cannot? Why do we think that Liberian cannot do such a business? We can do. So it's not just about, I want to get into business, but you have to consider what kind of type of business you want to do, and what your market, the people that you want to do the business for, what is their desire? What really they need? That's why you need to do a market research before you get into business. So one is the food and beverages business. That business will not, it will not make you to lose if you get into such a business, because 11 people are succeeding. And what is the strategy? They are race oriented, because every business comes with race. You have to take the risk. More Liberians don't want to take that risk. They just think fashion things is one of the things. Oh yeah, because they are carried away by somebody will see fashion and say, yeah, this guy is, no. Don't get me wrong. Fashion things is good, but it's also important that when you consider some businesses that you don't want to do are the one that will change the course of your business career. And another business that we introduce here is what? The transportation business. Many of you who are watching and viewing, make some comment, share the podcast, we highly appreciate that. Make some comments so I can see your comment. Your comments help to support this program. This is the Rahim Show. I'm your host, Ricky Ali. We are discussing laptop business, and our specific topic, what can I do? What kind of business can I do? Somebody asked me that question. So that's what we are discussing. What kind of business can I do in Liberia? Somebody's asking me, I have the money, I have my 20,000, I have my 30,000, but what kind of business can I do, Ricky? So I'm telling you that you can consider two business that more Liberian people don't consider. More people want to consider fashion, but I'm telling you, you can consider food and beverages business. We see that even in the US here. Walmart, look at Walmart. How many people buy clothes from buying food? If you check, if Walmart were to give you a total statistic of the people that bought food stuff, grocery material, then clothing material, you will see the difference that more people went for food than clothing material. That is a statistic. It tells you that more people go for food. So it just tell you that when Liberian people take that risk and get into food and beverages business and open that very nice superstore where they have everything in it, I tell you, a lot of people will buy it, because why? People want to eat rice. People want alcohol. If you have rice and alcohol, the restaurant come and buy for you. See, local people come and buy for you. Family come and buy for you. People, everybody entering your store. Restaurants buying for you because you have meat, you have other things and food and other things there. So people come. So those are business to get into. You can't just say because somebody is selling clothes, you see them selling the clothes. That clothes might not already, and because the person is selling, you want to get into business. So you just went, and you just got about you buy the same clothes and started selling. You never know. You see, so that's why you have to study. You have to do what we call retail management to study. Let me say, business, analysis, so you can be able to know what your customer really need. And another business, like I said earlier, was transportation. Transportation business is one of the business that make money. If you have the means, if you have money to buy boxes and things, and you have committed people, you will make a lot of money, because people need to leave from one point to another point. People need to go to work. People need to go to school. So those are two businesses that I'm recommending to people in Liberia. If you wanted to get into business and you have the means, you have the money, you have the thing to start it, those are businesses to go into. Somebody also tell me, what about the gas business? And I say, yes, that's one of the good businesses to go into. gas, because every car needs to be run. Without gas, it's just that we always say without food or blood in our system, the body cannot move, function without blood. So this is the same thing with the car. The car needs gas so the engine, so the car can run. So if no gas in the car won't run. So if you have a little money to open a little small gas station, once you have committed and you are consistent and you are not distracted by any other thing that will come, and you get somebody committed, you can succeed in selling gas. You can succeed in establishing a gas station if you have the means to do so, and you'll be successful because a lot of cars need gas. So to see transportation, when you get into transportation business, obviously the driver need gas to be able to take people from one place to another. So gas also is a good business to go in. So if you're a Liberian watching the show in Liberia, I want to say welcome to the Rahim Show. You might want to hit the like button, share the podcast, make some comment. We highly appreciate that. So gas is one of the good business you might want to consider. Gas, selling of gas is one of the business you might want to consider. But I also came in to tell you that you can also do food and beverages business. They are all very, very important. And the Lebanese are making tons of money from such business. You see a lot of people in the morning, people are online to buy things by boxes. And the Liberian who might be watching can attest to this. A lot of people get online to go in the morning to buy wholesale from the Lebanese and want to go buy food and beverages. People go and buy things with boxes and put it in a shop and sell it locally to make money too, to make profit. And why do you think if Liberians are doing such a business, what will happen? What will happen to our economy? If more Liberians are getting into such a business, taking over our economy, what do you think will happen? We have a good and a great country. We have a great country because all the businesses they bring a lot of and especially when Liberians own these businesses, they bring a lot of improvement to the country because most of the businesses that are making money, they hire people. They hire people, and they help to alleviate some of the unemployment we have in Liberia. So it's very important to consider these two important businesses, but it's also important to consider gasoline business too, because obviously if you have a vehicle, you need gas. The gas have to get in the vehicle to run, and that's how you leave from one point to another point. So, folks, if you're following the show via Facebook and YouTube, this is the Rahim Show. I'm your host, Ricky Ali, and we are discussing what kind of business should I consider doing in Liberia. And if you want to be a part of the show, send me a message, and I'll send you an invite so you can join our conversation tonight. We're talking about what kind of business can I do in Liberia to succeed. More people want to get into clothing business. More people want to do different kind of fashion. They are all good. And this is not to discourage somebody who's doing fashion, clothing, no. But I'm just telling you can also consider the two important businesses because I see a lot of, potential in this area. I see a lot of potential in the area. And more Liberians are afraid to get into the area because why? They think that only fashion can make money. No, it's not only fashion that makes money. You have other areas. Even agriculture make money, but not many people want to go into agriculture because of the requirement and things that you might need. But you also need you need to consider these two important businesses if you have money. If you have money, you need to consider the two businesses. And here is why I selected these two businesses. First of all, let me tell you, right? You have food and beverages retail business, you have agriculture, you have transportation services like I mentioned, you have small scale manufacturing, and essential good distribution, like people who, you see people like Costco. Costco is a wholesale area. You go and buy a lot of things wholesale. You see how many people go to Costco and buy. Some people will spend like $300, $400, $500 like college food. Imagine if 10,000 or 1,000 or 4,000 people were to enter Costco and buy such, and let's say on average $300. Imagine what would have happened. How much money Costco would have made. So it tells you that these are all businesses you can go in. But with Costco issue, you need more money to open such a business. If you have it, that's a good business to also go into. But we are saying you can try to start a business in transportation. You can try to start a business in food and beverages. You can open a little small superstore. You have rice. You have things. You do some wholesale. People come and buy and sell locally too. You do that. So here are a reason why I'm saying these businesses are very important for you to consider if you ever wanted to get into business. So specific reason. So important factor to consider in order to succeed in this business. Okay, so you look at your local market understanding. First of all, you have to look at an important factor that you can consider if you ever wanted to do these businesses, right? One is local market understanding. Know what your people, the people in a local market. First of all, you have like people buying from the store to sell. People go to the Lebanon man and buy the wholesale food and beverages, and then themselves to put it in the shop. And some people sell it, like locally. They get a big cooler where they sell it one. The guy sold it to you wholesale. He had made his profit already. Now you are selling it retail and to let's say to the consumer. Then you're making a little small money. The guy had made on a profit already. So you see how this guy. So these are all factors. These are all factors to consider if you wanted to succeed in Liberia, what kind of business you wanted to do. So local market understanding. You got to know what the understanding of the market is. You got to know what people need out there. Local market understanding. You got to know. So thoroughly research. You got to do a research. You see, thoroughly research local needs and preferences to tailor products and services accordingly. You need to do thorough research because you want to know what people love, their preference. You want to know their consumer preference because it will tailor the products and services accordingly. Because if you don't know what the people need, that's why you need to do a market research before you even get into business. Search the market and see what people really need. One of the things, like I said, people need food to eat. Rice. If you have a big rice store, I tell you, you will make more money than anybody who have a closed store. You'll make money. If you have a big rice store, like rice, every day people buy rice. Every day people buy rice in Liberia. If you have such a big store, people will come to your store to buy rice. People will come to your store to buy rice because it's a staple food. So you do thorough market research because you want to tailor you want to first of all identify the preference of your consumer. Then you can know exactly that these things will help to balance, products and services accordingly. The product you're going to identify that the people need, and you're going to know the services that if there are services that you provide, they're all going to play a factor right there. So these are factors. That's one important factor to consider. Then another factor is resilient supply chain. Now you know your people are buying this rice from you. You have a product. Now you see that's what the Lebanese people do, and more Liberians don't want to take that risk. The Lebanese people, they have the boxes. People can buy. They stay online in the morning. They buy all the things. They got contact the supply chain. We are out of this. 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 And you see the supply. That man is sending for 2-3 containers in a month. Then people are buying them. People are buying the wholesale from the selling. See, once you have that supply chain in place, I tell you, you know exactly how you are making your money. You know exactly because why? You are going to yield a potential success because why? You have that supply chain. So supply chain, resilient supply chain, develop reliable sources and distribution. Sourcing, develop a reliable sourcing and distribution network to overcome potential logistic challenges. See, you have to identify reliable sourcing and distribution network to overcome logistical challenges because you don't want to have shortages. You don't want to, any man doesn't want to have shortage. So people go and buy wholesale for him, get in line when the thing going down. That guy contact supply chain. Oh, we are out of this, we are out of that, we are out of that. And they are sending it. They are sending it. Because what? The likelihood of him not having this thing for a month, it affect it affect the business, and also affect the ability for him to get profit. Because most of the things he sells, he makes profit. So you see, food and beverages business is one of the very important businesses that you can do if you ever think about doing business in Liberia. So what we are discussing today, what kind of business can I do in Liberia? If you ever wanted to do business, first of all, do it thorough research, thorough market research, because you want to know the preference of your consumer so that you can balance it with the services accordingly. You want to know the preference of your consumer, and you want to balance the services you will provide accordingly, because you don't want anything to be conflicting. You have to do a research. After you are done a research, and you know exactly, but this is what I'm recommending for any Liberian who want to get into business out there. Get into food and beverages business, because you will make money. You will make money. If you are selling rice, you're selling alcohol, you're selling loshame, sardine. These are things that Liberian people buy almost everything. And especially when you are selling it by wholesale, people buy and go and sell. People buy and go and sell. Oh my goodness, you will make money, because that's what the Lebanese people do. And you see in the morning, people are online to buy from them. So I'm recommending a Liberian man who want to do business and have this money and want to invest in Liberia, go into food and beverages business. I get it. It comes with trusted. I mean, it comes with people who to trust. But if you find one to trust, consider that business as one of the business to do. That will help, and because it has a potential for success. Such a business has a potential for success. And the next business that I talk about is the transportation business. But we are discussing the factor. Why am I saying these two businesses are very important? See, we are saying, like, for instance, we talk about resilient supply chain. We talk about local market understanding. First of all, you might take into consideration these different, the important factor. Local market understanding, because you want to balance the product and the service accordingly. Then the resilient supply chain. Now that you have the product and you are selling, consider the resilient supply chain. Make sure that your supply chain is not cut up, because supply chain affect your customer and also affect income or profit. See, so you have to consider resilient supply chain. And the next one, you have to consider community engagement. A lot of time we don't do it here, but in America, people do. You see, a lot of stores, have community engagement, because they want people to flock into the store and flow into the store and buy. So they have community engagement. Build relationship with local community and incorporate local labor where possible. You got to build relationship with local community. You got bigger stores that do that, to build, relationship with community leaders and things, because they want people to come and support or buy some of the product. And access to finance. Seek funding option from local bank or international development organizations to support your business growth. Most Liberians don't have the physical cash. They don't have like huge amount of money. Maybe somebody say, okay, I got $5,000 or $6,000. I want to get money. So you can also credit money from the bank. I know they come with huge interest, but if you are very consistent and you don't allow another thing to be a distraction to your business, and you have a goal set and you're doing your market research, you know what kind of business to consider, what kind of business to do. I tell you, as you take these loans, you're very careful, because you don't want, because there are times, obviously business will not go well all the time. You will break even, but you still continue to persevere. You still continue to be consistent And as you continue to that, your business in the long run will yield something, because no consistent businesses have failed. Anybody who have been consistent in business, who have applied almost all the consistencies and market research and know what a customer need, all the things that we are needing, need somebody who apply and said, I've applied all of that in my business, I succeed. I want to see that person coming on live. If you do that, you are going to succeed in Liberia. You want to get into the clothing business, it's good. Get into the clothing business, but at the end of the day, you will end up doing social media marketing. You end up doing things where you can come and publish your business on social platform. So, but we are encouraging you, if you're a Liberian, you want to do business, as we talk about light top business, this is where we highlight important things to consider. We talk about how you can do business and succeed, and what are some of the businesses you can consider to get in, and we provide you with information to help you to succeed, because that is the goal of our topic, light top business. As we engage our people who are in the business, sometimes we have people here to share the perspective on how they succeeded and what are some of the options and things to do to succeed, because that's what the whole light top business episode is all about. We encourage people, we highlight important things to help you succeed, because our goal is, if you succeed, it become a good things for our society. And that's why we are here to talk about what kind of business can I consider in Liberia. If I ever wanted to do a business, what business would I consider in Liberia? If you feel that you have an interest in discussing the topic, send me a message and I can send you an invite so you can come here, so we can have a one-on-one discussion and see how we can be able to help people out there who are planning to get into business. A lot of times people just get into business and they don't do a thorough research. It is important to do a thorough research, because you want to balance the product and the service accordingly. You want to balance that, because you don't even know what people actually want. Don't just go because you have 5,000 naira today and just go buy Suzu clothes, thinking that those clothes people will buy. It is true, if they are all fine clothes, but it's also important to always do market research and see whether people really want these things that you are buying. So that's important to do. So let's continue some of the important factors to consider for your success in Monrovia or in Liberia, if you ever wanted to do business. One is adaptability to infrastructure constraint. What am I saying? Adaptability to infrastructure constraint is design the business operation to work within limitation of existing power and transportation system. You have to design a business. Don't design your business that you will go above limit. Many Liberians, when they establish a business, they will start to get into things beyond the limit, and that put risk on the business. It put a pressure, they put a burden on the business, and at the end of the day, that business die naturally. It start to die small until it die naturally. Because why? You cannot do business with pleasure. You must leave pleasure and focus on business if you want to succeed. Two things cannot work, especially when you want to succeed. That two things, business and pleasure, have no room for each other. And they don't coexist. Business and pleasure don't coexist. If you get into business and you want to succeed, you have to get rid of pleasure. Because if you're somebody who loves pleasure and you want to do business, I tell you, it's a bad habit of you, and it's going to affect your business. Because why? Every time you have money, you won't go do something. Every time you have money, you won't go do. Even if you make profit, you won't take the whole profit and do something, and that will affect the business, because you don't want to do a business after 10 years. You just run into the same. So I said that, in my previous podcast about how you need to be disciplined, and I mentioned so many qualities that reflect discipline, because as a businessman, obviously you got to be disciplined. If you're not disciplined, you will not succeed in business. So what are business considered in Liberia? What are business that I want to consider to do? So as we talk about this topic, we are providing you businesses. There are so many businesses like retail, clothing business. People do a lot. So many people are selling clothing, doing clothing business. I respect some of them. I pray that the business succeed. But this is not to pinpoint any kind of business that people are doing already. I'm just giving a recommendation based on statistical approach, and then also given how people are making immense money from these businesses. A lot of money people are making from the businesses, and I just give a comparative, let's say comparative, analysis with even the place we have here, the Walmart and all the places there. Because what? People that go to Walmart, you see a Walmart would give a statistical report about how much people buy clothes, from how much people buy grocery material. You see more people buy grocery things than clothing. You see more people buy grocery, food and beverages than clothing. More people, because it's a good things. See, that's how the design. So that is what we are saying here. And, adaptability to infrastructure constraint. Design a business operation to work within the limitation of an existing power and transportation system. You have to design a business that will work within the limitation. First of all, you got to know what your people need. That's why you do market research. You got to know what the people need out there. So, folks, if you are following the show via Facebook and YouTube, I want to say welcome. This is the Rahim Show, and I'm your host, Ricky Ali. We are discussing light talk business, and what we are specifically talking about what business can I consider if I want to do business in Liberia? What business can I consider? So we are providing you information about which business to consider if you ever wanted to do business in Liberia. So we are going to take a break. When we get back, we will resume our conversation on this business, our episode on light talk business. So stay tuned as we take a break. When we get back, we continue our discussion.
Keep the vibe. 25. Hustle, gotta get the money. Just the end of the struggle. For better tomorrow.
Forget all the stress, just put in the work. Any day you put in this world you can get. Don't sit and regret, just fight for yourself. Cause life is a battle, we all gotta fight. Everyone is blessed, if only you sweat. Put effort and time, you will get all the best. It's so good to flex, but no one to flex. Don't use all your matter, you take time to get. Encourage yourself, there's no need to beg. The rich man you see today fight for himself. Focus on your left, the win or the press. Better days ahead, never quit on yourself. Nothing for nothing, push forward with strength. Struggle with calm, but you just have to stand. I like a man, keep on hustling with sense. Learn from mistake, always focus and plan. Use what you have, do the best that you can. Work to the end, what you put you must earn. Prepare and learn, success right in your hands. Use all your chance, at the end you will dance.
Hustle, gotta get the money. Just the end of the struggle. For better tomorrow. Yeah, hustle, gotta get the money. Just the end of the struggle. For better tomorrow. Yeah, hustle.
Well, folks, if you are joining the show via Facebook and YouTube, I want to say welcome to the Rahim Show. I'm your host, Ricky Ali. Again, we are here on Monday with another episode of Light Talk Business, and we are talking about what kind of business can I consider to do in Liberia. And I'm saying to you, if you ever plan to do a business in Liberia, you can also consider the food and beverages business. You can also consider transportation business. I know a lot of people want to go into the clothing business. They are all also good. And somebody once said, well, why can I consider selling gas? Gas, if you have a chance to open a gas station, that is a good business to do, because obviously the transportation business that I'm recommending we need gas, because that's how they function from one place to another. So these are some of the things that we are discussing because we see a potential in, let's say, success in the area. If you ever consider doing, if you ever wondering to do a business in Liberia, these are different business areas that you can think about, and you can thoroughly do a research because you want to balance your product and services accordingly. You want to know what exactly you want to sell or what exactly you think people need in Liberia. I think people need food because rest is a stable thing, and more people who have a bigger rice store, they make a lot of money because these two people buy rice almost every day. People go to the grocery store like Abijali supermarket. People go there in the weekend to buy a lot of things. They spend a lot of money. So these are all businesses that you can consider as Liberian. As Liberian, we want Liberian people to take over the business sector in Liberia. So these are businesses that if you get money, you can go into, not just get into fashion. There are so many fashion stores in Liberia, and a lot of people, sometimes people don't even walk in the stores to buy things. And people, I went Liberia and I got a lot of friends who sell clothing. More people say, my man, no business, or sometimes in the whole store, 2 or 3 person walk in here. They have to sell these things to the guy who sell on the table, sell it at least, like maybe for instance, and the guy come and buy the cost spread, they call it cost spread, buy lower price, and then to go sell it to make something out of it. They have to do it like that just for the store to sell or survive, or just for them to accrue something over the years so that they can be able to pay the store rent. So it just tell you how the competition in the clothing area is very, very slim. But if you ever wanted to consider a business to do in Liberia, consider the transportation business, consider food and beverages business, consider the business too. They are very important. Elements are making money. And one thing, but they have a resilient supply chain because every time they know that they are going out of things, they have that resilient supply chain that makes sure they are getting that things stock so that people can buy. Because the more people buy them, the more profit they make. So if you are watching the show in Liberia, or if you ever wanted to open a business in Liberia, or thinking about contemplating about what kind of business you want to do, those are business to consider. And we are saying these are factors that you can consider. Factor. Why do I want to do this business? One is, we said, one of the factors you can consider is local market understanding. First of all, you go out there, ask your people, do a lay one-on-one, and discuss, go out there and just interview people. Go out there and see what people need. You ask people, oh, what do you think Liberian people ready to buy? You ask, you do it, and then you compile all of the things plus your own market research, all of those things all of the different things will help you compile or make you understand what people really need on the market. Because you don't just want to wake up and just say, because, oh, I see the clothing business is very fine, and you just go and buy it. A lot of people are selling clothing, and most of them have to come on social media and share some of the things they sell before people can buy from them. So, folks, if you are following the show via Facebook and YouTube, I want to say welcome. This is the Rahim Show. I'm your host, Ricky Ali, and another episode of our show, Like Talk Business. We are discussing what kind of business should I consider if I ever wanted to do business in Liberia. What kind of business should I consider? So we are saying there are so many businesses in Liberia that you can do. So many businesses. But these two businesses are one of the business Liberian people don't take that risk. And business is risk oriented. If you don't want to take the risk, don't get into the business. But you also have to do a thorough research. Do a research because you want to balance the product that you want to deliver and the services accordingly. You want to do it in a way that it balanced, the meet at the equilibrium, where you can be able to deliver the best result and earn yourself a successful business. So if you're following the show via Facebook and YouTube, I want to say welcome. This is the Rahim Show. I'm your host, Ricky Ali, and we are discussing on the show what business can I consider if I wanted to do business in Liberia. And we are telling you that you can consider so many other business, but these two important business are the one we we are laying emphasis on, and we are telling you those are important business that you can do to succeed in Liberia because they have the potential for success. They have the potential for success. So we are saying food and beverages businesses, transportation business. So let's go back to why what are some of the reasons or what are some of the things to consider for which I'm saying these businesses are very important and why have the potential for success. Why? Why am I saying this? So that we are yet we on our show we provide important information, important things to help you because we want you to succeed. Our goal for this particular discussion is to help uh, businesses that are striving and businesses that are trying to grow and businesses that are trying to gain competitive advantage. So many reasons, so many things we are trying to help you on how you can succeed and what are some of the things you can consider. We also said in our previous podcast that you need to be disciplined. If you're not disciplined, you cannot succeed because every business that want to succeed, the person who control that business have to be disciplined because if you're not, you are not going to succeed. So we just trying to recap some of our podcasts about how you can succeed and what you need to do. But we are saying here, first of all, consider local market understanding. You know, thorough research, local need and preferences because you want to know the preferences of your people because they all tailor the product and services and thorough, let's say accordingly. These are things that will tailor the product and services accordingly. So you want to do a thorough research and you know the local needs and preferences of your consumer. The people that you are selling for, you got to know them. You got to know what they need. You got to know exactly what people need in Liberia. Do a research, do a thorough research. And then if you ever consider the business level people and do, you have to create a resilient supply chain. A resilient supply chain, making sure that nothing, you are not running out of things. Because you see, you have a long queue in the morning in Liberia. You have a long queue of people waiting 7 o'clock for that store to open so they can buy that wholesale, and they themselves go and sell them to make profit. So if, for instance, if that guy who's selling the wholesale to those people who are going to buy, if for some reason he's out of some of the things in the whole month, he had just lost a lot of customers because more people will get discouraged. They will start finding a different store. They will start finding another option. So you see, you want to have a resilient supply chain where you cannot run out of something that people always come to your store. And that's how the Lebanese and the people are making more money in Liberia because they have a resilient supply chain. People go to the store and buy a lot of things. So we are providing this information to help businesses and people out there who might be watching the show that you need to get into food and beverages businesses. And you don't need $1 million to start that business. You don't need a lot of money. Most of the Liberian people have to take loan for no bank. You just need to be committed. You need to be committed. You need to be consistent, and you need to lay aside every other things that would distract you from from focusing on your goal. Because every businessman might have a goal. If you have a goal, and that goal, as you see in that goal every day, you are going to succeed. Because why? Nothing can sway you from that goal. So another thing we say here is like adaptability to infrastructure. Let's say to infrastructure constraint. There are times you have to design a business operation to operate within a limitation. You don't want to go beyond your limitation. You have to establish business. You have to establish business based on your limitation. So that will help you to succeed. So, folks, we have concluded an hour here, and I hope all of you who follow the show can make some comment. See a comment here. Thank you for your comment. We appreciate your comment. Thank you for your like. I appreciate that. Please make some comments. Share the podcast. We highly appreciate that. And for some reason, if you think that we are doing the right thing here on the Rahim Show, we are discussing providing you information to help your businesses, providing you information, and you want to be a support to this platform, there is a cash admin donation. You can support us We are not, forcing anyone. We are not begging. But if you just feel led and you think that we are doing the right thing, you want to support this platform, please just give a donation. Or if you don't have a cash app but you want to Zelle in the US here, there is a number on the screen. You can Zelle that. And we highly appreciate every dollar you give to us. We highly appreciate that. So, folks, I just wanted to drop this to help most of our business people. Usually we design the show so that we can come out here and provide information, uh, especially with respect to the topic, light talk business, where we talk about how we can be able to help businesses grow. Because our goal here is to make sure that we provide good information on how people can succeed, especially like Liberian businesses, because we want a Liberian to take over the market. I was in Liberia in March. I tell you, the foreign people have taken over our whole business area. You see, a lot of Nigerians now owning stores in Liberia. A lot of Nigerians are owning stores in Liberia, and we are wondering why Liberians themselves are leaving the business and they are just breaking down, and then foreign people are taking over our business area. These guys are making money out of the country. What is happening to our Liberian business people? We have to be consistent. We have to be consistent. We have to be, dedicated to what we. If you want to achieve, you need dedication. You need to be dedicated. You want to be even life. It's not just about owning a business. Your life as a whole. If you want to succeed in life, you have to be consistent. You have to be fixed. Fixed mind. And you say, yes, this is my goal, and I'm moving toward that goal. And nothing else can distract you from that goal, because why? You are fixed towards your goal, and as you get fixed towards your goal, you will certainly achieve your goal. So that's what the Light Talk business is designed to provide insight, to provide to just highlight some of the key things to help people. People might be having business right now. You might be in business right now, and you're wondering how my business is not growing. What are some of the things you have to do? You have to reevaluate your market research. You have to there are times people don't do research well. So then you have to go back and implement all these things that we are talking about. If you reevaluate your market research, because certainly maybe you got moved by people. And for instance, if you wanted to do a business and you wanted to get into clothing business, maybe that's where your spirit is leading you to get into. But the clothing business was not the real business that were going to provide you, the success that you need. So now you have to go and reevaluate. Why am I having the business and my spirit telling me do this business, but yet I'm not succeeding in this area? Then you have to go and do your research. You have to go evaluate your plan and see what was the reason. Because everything that happened have some sort of reason why it happened. So you need now to go evaluate your business and see why am I open a shoe business. People, some things are coming to the shoe store and buy shoe. People, sometimes whole month I will sell only one shoe, and you got to pay rent for the store that you ran, and for the worker that you have to feed them. You yourself have to eat. If you're driving, you have to put car and gas in your car. So you don't want to just be spending, and you're not getting. So now you have to go and reevaluate what is the reason why my business is not. So I tell more Liberians who want to get into business, don't get moved by what people tell you. Say, oh yeah, get into this. Oh, I love this. I love that. No. First of all, I mean, being a Christian, I always say this: pray about anything you want to do. Pray about it. Ask God, say, God, I want to do this thing. Please help me. Let God be a help for you. And maybe God will give you the wisdom you need before you can establish that business. Because you can't do anything without God. It is God who's going to make your business succeed. So pray about it. And then also do the practical. Do your research. Go out there, have a one-on-one, meet people and ask them, just you want to doing this kind of interview or one-on-one, question, just to see to just see the broad, spectrum of what people really need out there. You just want to see, and then that's how you get to know what the market really need. and you want to balance. You just want to tailor. You first of all you want to know the preference of your people. You want to know what people really love, and you want to tailor that with the product and services accordingly. You want to do that so that your business can succeed. And that is why the Rahim Show, Laptop Business, is all about. We want all businesses to succeed in Liberia and even in the US. If you are doing business, not just only in Liberia, in the US, as you are doing business, we want you to succeed. And that is why we are saying these are advices and tip and information that will help you succeed. Don't think that you know it all because you have established a business. We all are learning. We all are learning. So when we come out here and provide you information, take this information and apply it. And I tell you, you will certainly succeed. You will definitely succeed because why? This information has helped a lot of people succeed. And we don't create an imaginary information. We don't just get it and just create that information. We read a lot of things, and these information are statistically based on how people use this information and succeed. So that's why we are trying to provide the information for Liberian businesses and even people who also want to do business. Maybe a foreign person might be watching this show on Facebook, want to apply these skills to his or her country business. You are welcome to apply these skills. It will help you to succeed in your business. It will help you to succeed in your business. So, folks, I want to say thank you for taking out your time. I see one or two comments. Thank you for making comment. And for some of you who follow the show and support the show, I want to say thank you for your support. We appreciate all the support you give to this show. And then lastly, before I leave, I know a lot of people use social media, like some other churches, and if you are, if you ever wondering to establish a platform where you can have a good overlay and things for your platform, reach out to me. I can be able to establish a very unique overlay for your platform, for religious people, for any reason. You can reach out to me. We can negotiate and be able to establish a unique thing for your platform. If you ever wanted to get a platform and come live, if you have that media person, you want to establish platform and create a good overlay, reach out to me and we can negotiate, and I can create overlay of your car or overlay for your show. And I tell you, you will love it. You will love it. So, folks, that's how we come to the end. I want to say happy pre-Thanksgiving. I know this month is our Thanksgiving in the U.S. Liberia already celebrated the Thanksgiving. We know that a lot of time Thanksgiving is intended for us to just praise our Maker and just give glory to God. But I tell you, many people don't have food on a Thanksgiving. So what we are doing is we are raising something to help feed people. And if you have any things, food or anything, and you want to share with our platform so that we can be able to share, that will be a blessing to other people who don't have meal to eat. And you can be a part of this initiative. And I tell you, God will bless you, because life does not consist of what we can accommodate, but what we can give away. May God bless you, and thank you also for following the show. Love you all. Good night.